Visioneers, and welcome to Small Business Celebration. We're continuing our series on small business owners who are rising from recession. And our guest this week, well, this is the house that Mosley built. This is Small Business Celebration. Join us as we learn from successful business owners and successful business leaders about who they are, from where their business has grown, what they have learned, and where their successful business is going. I'm your host, Michael I. Roberts, and we're going to learn something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business. Hello Visioneers, and welcome to Small Business Celebration. And our guest this week is Robert Mosley and Renee Pasternak of House of Moseley. Welcome to Small Business Celebration.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you.
For Visioneers who don't know who you are you, and what is it that you do?
I'm Robert Mosley III. I'm the designer and owner of House of Moseley.
I am Renee Pasternak. I am Robert's sister, and I do a little bit of everything. All the other stuff. I help buy and count, all the accounting things, fun things like that.
Sharp-eyed Visioneers will notice that this is the second time we are interviewing Robert Mosley, because the last time we did it was simply a podcast where we had audio only, but now we get to show you all this stuff. It's Christmas. So welcome back from Thanksgiving. I hope you guys didn't eat too much, drink too much, and be merry too much, but this is, Robert, your favorite time of year.
It is. It absolutely is. I love being a part of Christmas and all the homes, and I love the fact that my clients bring me back every year. It's an honor.
Part of this is we're sitting in probably the most popular collection that House of Moseley has to offer. First of all, what line is this?
This is Mckenzie Childs.
Okay.
They're from Aurora, New York.
Okay.
I was blessed to be invited to their farmhouse a couple years ago, and we pretty much stock the whole line. We do everything from the dishes to the furniture, and so we have it all.
Yeah.
First of all, why do you like the Mckenzie line?
Well, it definitely has a cutting edge design. Mm-hmm. It is one of those things that has become very collectible. It was started very handmade. Mm-hmm. The last few years that they've grown, they have expanded their global markets. There's product made all over the world now. Right. And so they have, and as you can see, they have a little bit of everything. Sure. So it really kind of takes care of every market of your business. So it's a wonderful product to have. There's collectible, and then there's the collectible NASCAR plate series that you can get. What makes this line of collectible truly collectible and that it holds its value? I think it's the fact that it's the feeling or the inspiration that becomes behind the product. Like, for instance, the Courtly check that's behind me. That was a fluke. They didn't do that on purpose. They actually, that was a little trim on one of their pieces originally. Really? And it was so sought after, and you can see now it's on everything. And the last 2 years, they even brought out like the new Royal check. Sure. So it's just a wonderful brand, and it's name recognition. People know what it is. And some people get a little put back because it is so much, but you don't have to have your whole house full of it. You just need a piece or two.
But we do have clients that have a whole house of it.
Nothing against that.
Sure. No, we do. But
and it's funny because I've also had clients that say, I do not like it. This is not mine. Too much checkerboard. Can't handle it. And then a year later, they've got one piece and they've got another piece. Yeah. It grows on you. It's one of those things that there's an item for everyone in this one little line of Mckenzie Childs. It also appears to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's one of these kinds of pieces or one of these kinds of lines that, like you said, you can start off with piece by piece by piece. It can start off as an accent piece, and then it can become a focal piece, and then it can grow and develop and that sort of thing. One of the things that I've always
liked about your sense of style and your sense of decor choice is your ability to put entire ensembles together. In fact, you do that for people's houses, do you not?
Oh, I do. And it's not just holiday. That's really the core of the business is interior design.
Right.
He just likes to have all this stuff.
Okay.
It's true. I shop for my own store.
Sure. Some of
So-
it's for you, some of it's for the store, right?
Well, no, for
No,
the
it's
client.
it's always for the it's
So
always for the
It's always for the client.
it's always for the customer.
So, but my theory of buying has always been, if I want it, then I believe that you would want it.
Right.
Because I've told this story
But he
before.
taught me how to do shop like that too. And if you've been in the store, then you've seen our candle line. And he said, buy what you like. If you like it, they will like it. And as you can see, they like it.
Sure.
That's why we have so
Yes.
many candles.
So says
Yeah.
the Candle Queen.
Yeah.
Candle Queen.
Yeah.
But what you have here in the store didn't come out of a vacuum. You've been in business for how long?
Well, I've been doing this business for 32 years. Yeah.
You're just
Give or take a finger
Yeah.
or two
Yeah.
as you try to figure it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
How long?
32 years. Yeah.
How did House of Moseley look prior to COVID?
Just like this, but bigger.
Okay, all right. But what do you mean by just like this but bigger?
Well, okay. So prior to COVID, we had 2 spaces here at the center.
Right.
And long story short, in January when we went to market, we were talking about doing a pop-up over in Central Coast because I do have a big following over there. Clients are already there.
Right.
And the idea was to expand in that and just test the waters to see if that was something that would hit or not hit. And holiday is a great time to, fourth quarter is always a good time to try the waters because there's more going on. So with that, COVID hit. Or actually, I started looking around, like, should I cut expenses here so I could afford that? And then COVID hit.
Right.
And our landlords were amazing. They gave us 3 free months of rent.
Nice.
Which you don't hear that. I've
No,
heard a
don't
lot of
hear
horror
very often,
stories
no.
from
Yeah.
others.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
we're lucky. For
we're
that.
really lucky and very fortunate. And I was like, no, I'm staying. So, but to cut overhead, to be able to do new projects, I had to decide to downsize.
Sure.
I did take the larger of the 2
Well,
spots.
and our lease was coming up too, so that.
That
Well, no,
helps.
and
That helps, right?
yeah, so the
Yeah,
lease
so
was
it
coming.
just everything was kind of
it all
coming.
worked out
It was
at the
maybe
same
meant to.
time.
It was meant to be, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit and you downsized the size of your store.
Well, technically, we just did that a month ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was in the works.
It was in
the
the
works.
works.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
the ultimately we still had customers that were buying off the web and very thankful, trying to support local businesses.
Right.
We still had construction jobs going on. We still had living rooms to put back together. We still had work to do.
Well, and at the end of the day, the trucking companies they were still shipping, and so we had custom orders coming in. So we still had to come to the store every day because the trucks would show up with furniture. I mean, if we wouldn't have been here, then
They would have turned around and gone
they would
back
have got
home.
lost.
Right.
And
Well,
then you don't know where your product is.
Right. Sure.
And that happened years ago with that Katrina storm. Product couldn't get past, and then it was lost, and then it took months to find.
Yeah.
And we didn't want that to happen
Right.
because I've lived through it before.
Right.
So ultimately, it was just the family. We came down. We worked the store. We opened the back door. We did deliveries. We
did backdoor
pickup.
pickups,
We did
deliveries.
free delivery.
Yeah.
We hustled.
Right.
It was
And
actually really hard because we didn't have all of our employees.
Okay.
it was really hard.
It was a lot of calling, going, how do you do this on the computer? A lot of things that we're not used to doing. So
Did you have to furlough some of your employees, or were you able
All
to keep
of
them?
them.
All of them.
Oh, okay. So this truly became a family affair.
Well, it always has been, but
Yeah.
then it was
Okay.
just us.
yeah.
Just a family.
Yeah.
Just family. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that we seem to be, or the economy is starting to recover,
Yes.
what is the vision of House of Moseley post-pandemic?
Well, like she said, it used to be bigger, now it's smaller.
Right.
But I think that still the same mentality stays true. I don't see myself not ever doing this business.
Sure.
And I would like to see a pop-up come up, sometime next year when things maybe calm down a little more.
Yeah.
Expand your presence on the coast and.
Well, the kind of, because
I want a beach house.
we do have,
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
well,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do have a lot of lines exclusively, like where other like Mckenzie Childs is exclusive to us within a certain range of miles.
If Visioneer Nation wants to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Well, you can call us at 661-397-7222.
What was that number again?
397-7222.
You're questioning yourself.
Or they could visit us, and our address is 8200 Stockdale Highway, Suite D7. We used to be D6, but now we're D7.
Sure.
Yes.
And what's your website?
www.houseofmoseley.com.
Yes.
If you like Small Business Celebration, we encourage you to go ahead and subscribe, notify, and tell a friend about Small Business Celebration. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some of those things about the customer base that Robert has made, as well as how do you go through and deal with customers that would rather get it from somewhere else. We'll be right back.
Imagine for a second the best version of yourself. This is really important because we cannot out-earn our identity. By increasing our identity, everything in our life gets better. Toastmasters helps us do this two ways. First, by giving us an environment that we can stretch ourselves and grow. And the second is by putting us with like-minded people that are doing the exact same thing.
Build a better you. Go to Toastmasters.org and click on the Find a Club button and build a better you. Go to Toastmasters.org and click on the Find a Club button and build a better you so that you can grow a strong and profitable business. Go to Toastmasters.org, click on the Find a Club button and build a better you. Hello, Visioneers, and welcome back to Small Business Celebration. And our guests this week are Robert Mosley and Renee Pasternak of House of Moseley. And our Visioneer question of the segment is, Visioneer Stephanie asks, after you and the customer have established the budget for a project, the customer wants to know where you purchased your items so that they can buy it off of Amazon. How do you explain to the customer that they've hired you for your vision and not just to bypass you for Amazon?
Number one, I don't think Amazon is probably the same vein as us. Like, you're not going to find our product on Amazon.
Right.
But as just a web question, I have had people try to do that before.
Right.
But ultimately, when you hire me, you're hiring me for my expertise and space and budget management of where items go and how it fits.
Right.
I've had a customer that I showed them the perfect sofa. I gave them a heck of a deal, and the husband went and found it somewhere and bought it. Guess what? It was too little. And
Wow.
they paid the same dollar amount that I was going to give them for the bigger sofa.
Wow.
So they didn't save anything. All
Sure.
they did was screw themselves up. So it happens, and that's why you hire a designer. And
Right.
if it's me or another designer, there is a reason for that. It's for space and balance and how it works in a room, how the flow works. There's just so many reasons and layers of what a designer can do for you that you can't just do online.
Well, I always say, even for myself, like I'll buy something for myself at the show, and I'll be like, oh, I love it like this, and then I'll take it home and place it, and then he'll come over, just because he comes over, and then he'll move it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that does look better there.
Sure.
You know, so people will ask me design questions all the time
Right.
because of Robert. You know, they think I have talent too, and I'm like, I don't.
I just do the books. I just buy stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know. It's a gift, and Robert is really gifted. Like,
Right.
he is talented like that, and that's why you hire a designer
Sure.
to help you be able to place things and stuff. Because the rest of us don't know how to do that. You might like something,
Right.
but doesn't mean you're going to make it look right in your home. You know what I mean?
No, and I do love it when someone has a concept or an idea,
Yeah.
and you can take the baton and run with it and make
Sure.
it work.
Well, because there's so many great things like Pinterest and all those fun things, and
Oh,
it gives
so
good
many things.
ideas. But at the end of the day, you still need someone to make it all flow and make it right.
Sure.
Because you can spend money 2 or 3 times and not do it right.
One of the things that this also sounds like too is, because you've been doing this for 30 plus years, is you've developed the skill or the art, as it were, on being able to communicate this idea to the customer that you hired me for a reason.
Right, exactly.
How do you go about through that process of having a customer that maybe you've never really worked with before, and they've come in and they've asked you for your design? How do you walk them through that process so that they develop the trust with you, so that they go, you know what, Robert, I trust you. Let's go ahead and get it all from you, and not have to go through and buy it from a third party.
Right. Well, so yes, it is like I've said before, it is an honor to me when people trust me in their home and make me a fixture of their home. I do have many, many wonderful clients and loyalty clients that they've been through it before, they understand, and they just let me go.
And they won't do anything without him.
Right.
Really quick.
Yeah.
I have a client, a couple right now, and they're so fun, and we've really been doing cabins and beach houses and all kinds of projects.
Sure.
And right now we're doing a master bath, and the wife says, well, whatever Robert says. And the husband goes, well, what about this? Whatever Robert says. And he goes, well, what kind of toilet paper to buy? And she goes, whatever Robert says. So yes, that part is a blessing. But the new customer, the brand new customer, I won't lie, it's really wonderful when you have the other customers in the community that they're my best advertisement. They're the ones that believe in me and give me the strength to get new customers.
Sure.
And when the new customer comes in, I truly just try to make them as welcomed and at ease as possible, because it is a hard process to let go of money and control.
Right.
Again,
That's two things. That's a big thing.
Sure.
Well,
Money and control, especially for a girl.
Well, but that's the thing is you have to interpret what they're wanting, and sometimes it's just as much psychology as it is a sell. You know, I've always claimed not to be a salesperson. Yes, I understand I sell stuff.
Sure.
But I really feel like I'm making a lifestyle for them, and that's where it comes from. But like we'd said about the one customer that they ran out and bought the other sofa and it was too small.
Right.
They're still our customers, and actually now they trust me even more because they realize that they tried to do it on their own and it didn't work out. And so that's the kind of process that happens here at the store. We try to make light of things and have fun with it.
Sure.
And you know, we just do our best.
You didn't learn this overnight.
No, I actually started with, and I think we've talked about this before, but I started with Rosalie Jorgensen of Rambling Rose. I worked for her on and off for 5 years altogether.
Right.
In between then I started my own business.
Right.
But she was one of those people that so for instance, she told me to go hang a picture, and she turned around to tell me I did it wrong, but it was right.
Right.
And then from that day, she allowed me to do a lot of her work and be her assistant.
Right.
And it was just that one little moment, and I was like, I got this. Like, I know, I see it.
We could go back to though, like when we were little. Like I had this little dollhouse set, like this little dolls and little furniture, and then he would take it all out of that house, put it on the ground, set it up, and go, okay, here, now play with it. So it wasn't. I mean, this is something that Robert is. I mean, he can draw. I cannot.
Right.
He has always. You're like, he's an artist.
I've always been an artist of some sort.
Yeah, he has talent. Like, he always has had that talent.
Sure.
And actually, you could ask my mom. She would get really upset because sometimes he'd rearrange the living room furniture, and then she would be like, you know.
Sure.
And I didn't even know what a interior designer was. It was just the fact that it was wrong and it had to flow this way, and I fixed it.
I'm going to fix it for you.
And I was like 12 years old. I'm rearranging the furniture.
Yeah.
But one of the things I'm interested to learn about, and I know a lot of Visioneers is this is not a common or uncommon refrain, I should say. You've got a customer that comes in and they want to hire your services, and you're trying to, and you've got a client list as long as your arm and down the street on people who love you, but the new customer doesn't know that.
Right.
Well, we do. I always tell people to look at, we post so much on social media, and you'll see a lot of pictures of a lot of jobs work and
progress.
Jobs and
but no, so a new customer, when they walk in, most of the time they have heard of us.
Right.
Say they're new to town, they don't really know anyone yet.
Right.
The very first thing is to get to meet them, hear their wants and needs, see their space, come up with a budget, and then a realistic budget.
One that you can hopefully stick to.
Right. And I tell people all the time,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I'll spend all your money.
Right.
I will.
Right.
That's my job.
Sure.
But I'm going to spend the budget you gave me. And so that's the other part. You have
Maybe
to
a
balance.
tiny bit over sometimes. No, but, I'm just kidding. but I will say though that also for Robert, like he's not somebody that he never like wants you usually to start over. That's usually a customer thing because I'm kind of like, I'm done with that. I don't want it anymore. And he'd be like, no, you can use it over here. Like he likes to reuse and especially if there are things that are sentimental to you, mean things to you. Like he's not somebody that just goes, oh, you got to start over this whole room, you know, done. Like that's not.
Right. Well, and I tease and say that's kind of more of a book taught designer.
Right.
Because they have to start from scratch. They can't
Incorporate what you
They
already
can't
have.
incorporate grandma's piece or the traveling piece you brought back from Europe or what this is or what that is and how you interpret it and how you put it back together. That's really huge for me because again I think it's one of those things I just want family to enjoy their house, and so that's really comes down to.
They live there for a reason.
Yes, and you don't want to yell at your kids for living in your house.
Right.
You want things, and it doesn't matter if it's a fur pet baby or if it's a real baby. You want the house to represent them.
Yeah.
Before we go to our final segment, one of the things that is behind you right now that I really appreciate is these are all things that you offer that allows the home decorator, you know, Harry the homeowner or Sally the homeowner, to go through and start decorating on their own vision. And very briefly, tell us about some of the things that you have going on back here that can be used to decorate one's own house that you have here to offer.
So very typical, like even just yesterday there was a couple that came in and they came in and purchased some things because they knew that this ribbon would work perfect here or that berry is good there in a plant that they already have. It's how you add it and put it together. But that's the whole fun part of what we do. But one of the things that my sister should probably talk about because she's really big into this yard art is, and it's been huge for us this year during our COVID holiday season.
Yeah, everyone was at home and so everybody was at least decorating their yard.
Sure.
But so it's Round Top and it's a great brand and we literally have bought them out several times.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
it's
when
been crazy.
you can't find it online, we have it because we bought it.
And that's the key.
Yeah.
Right there is that you are offering things you can't get online, and that is what differentiates you.
Well, I think that's the thing that's the lost art of a brick and mortar is that you can touch it, see it, smell it, and you know it's and it's going to come gift wrapped. It's going to be the right present. And if it isn't the right present, they know where to bring it back for an store exchange.
Right.
I mean, that's something that you can Amazon all day you want, but you're not going to get that extra experience that we offer. And I think that's the difference.
When we come back, we're going to find out from Robert where he gets his inspirations for his design for you, your home, and your business when we come right back. Offer a product or service that is different than what anybody else can offer, and that is how you differentiate yourself from your competition, just like Robert Mosley just said. And the reason we have this great content is because of you, Visioneer Nation, who have reached out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram and asked us real questions that we can answer to real business owners so that you can have the real answers you need to grow a strong and profitable business. So continue those questions, bring them in. We love having real questions answered by real business owners so that you can grow a strong and profitable business by reaching out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram today. We're here with Robert Mosley and Renee Pasternak of House of Moseley, and our Visioneer question of the segment is, Visioneer Ray asks, I am constantly looking to keep up with the latest trends and styles in order to present my business well. What influences do you seek outside of the San Joaquin Valley do you use to keep your business fashion forward?
Well, I have always leaned on travel. Any of the experiences of being able to go on wonderful trips and experience and see different things from different points of view.
Right.
I've always leaned on that and history. I love history. So
What kind of history?
Well, any history really.
Okay.
I think that a lot of design actually comes from history. You know, there's Parisian, there's Italian. You can go to different regions or different countries and pull from those and make sense of different types of architecture. And that's where I've always kind of pulled from, because I'm a little bit of a history nut, but
Sure.
that's where it comes from. And I would also say that not so much now because of the internet and how quickly things work, but it used to be you could look at the runway and the runway would tell you the future colors that were coming up. Now things are so instant. You take a picture of something and now it's being knocked off in China.
Right.
But it used to be that you would look at runway and fashion. And I still think that's probably still true, that you get influence from fashion, but it definitely influences quicker. Like the cycles are quicker.
For Visioneers who remember the last time Robert and I spoke, we spoke about colors and what you use for offices and office space and how you present yourself and how it's very important. As you go through and you're getting these influences and you've traveled to Milan or Newport Beach or wherever it is that you go, how are you taking these architectural styles, these fashion styles, and these color styles and integrating them into what you offer your customers?
Well, again, I think that if it's something I love, I'll buy. And if I bought it, then I believe that you would buy it.
Sure.
And that's something that comes from travel. You know, if it's something that influences you and you get a little sparkle about like, oh, I could do that or I could reproduce that.
Sure.
Or that would be a great thing to actually bring into the store.
Right.
That's happened a lot. I'll let my sister tell, but you know, sometimes she's gotten inspiration from Kardashians on television.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, so why we're here with the reason we're here in the candle section is because of the Candle Queen.
Yeah. I'm the Bakersfield Candle Queen.
So explain to us why this collection that is immediately to your right, that's red and green and in big vases, and why is this candle collection so important?
Well, this candle, I mean, this is actually just their holiday collection, but this is the candle that I was watching an episode of The Kardashians, and this is the candle right here that I saw on the counter, and I'm like,
and describe for us what that candle
well,
looks
it's
like.
called Baobab. So I did see this on a Kardashian episode on the counter, and I slowed it down so I could see what it was, and then I contacted the company directly and I said, what is it? I've never heard of you guys, because we go to all the shows, and I hadn't seen them, and that's how I found them.
Right.
And I brought them in, and they're amazing. And actually, I mean, just their vessels of the candles
The glass is
are
beautiful.
amazing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they run anywhere from like what, $75 all the way up to $900 for a candle.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're extremely popular. And you know, it was just because she
Yeah.
was watching TV one day.
Yeah.
So you never know where you're going to find inspiration.
As we look around at the other candles that are around you, you have quite the collection
Yeah.
of candles.
I consider all the best collections. Yeah.
And I know my wife isn't the only one, and I don't want to get cliche or
Yeah.
character, but candles are huge.
No, really huge.
Really huge.
Was this understanding of the candles, did this come pre-COVID, or was this something that you discovered during COVID?
Well, actually, when we moved to the shopping center probably like 8 years ago, it was the small, like maybe one of those kind of shelves, let's just say.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just kept taking off from there.
Right.
And then we were getting other, great brands, and then it just kind of kept growing, and now it's taking up like almost a whole wall.
And my
we do
joke,
sell
my joke
them.
was that if you needed 32 rolls of toilet paper, you should have a really good candle.
Yeah. So during COVID, that was our
COVID.
That was our COVID thing.
That was the COVID spiel.
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. You're not showing your wealth by the number of rolls of toilet paper you have. It's how many candles you own.
But you would
Yeah.
be surprised. I mean, we sell hundreds and hundreds of candles.
And it's it's a blessing because it generates traffic. You don't know if they're going to find something else or maybe they go back over to a candle, but the following is huge, and we do have these lines under somewhat lock and key.
Some of them,
so it is quite nice, and it's funny because some lines are populated in Bakersfield, but we still sell out of them.
Yeah.
So we have come to be like the candle store or the go-to place for the more designer candle.
Well, and plus we will do, we will sell a wrap, we gift wrap, we'll do a lot of fun things like that. So we have had a lot of people that will buy like small candles if they're having a gathering. Well, I mean, maybe not this year so much gatherings.
A gathering of sorts.
Yeah, or 6 or under or whatever. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people for party favors and just all kinds of things.
And I did mention the more expensive ones, but we have them of all different price points. My sister likes to say that she has to have something for the everyday everyone buyer.
Right.
Because we want everyone to feel included. We don't want it to feel like, oh, we only do this.
Well, I feel like sometimes people...
I do get that tag at times.
That people think they can't afford to shop here, and that's absolutely not true.
Right.
We do have expensive items, but of course we have everyday items.
Everyday money and then stupid money. And I have them both.
Yes. Yeah, so that is, and I want everyone to always feel comfortable coming in here, and we're not...
Oh, definitely.
We're not too good for anyone to be shopping here.
But at the same time, you do have the ability that now that we are in the Christmas holiday season, if you want that special something for that special someone to be packaged that special way, you have the ability to do that and have it shipped to them.
Yes.
Yes.
And we still do the pickup and we still do the deliveries. People are coming into the store. Everyone is feeling more festive. I think that people want to change, and yes, and we will do the extra to make it beautiful for them.
One of the things that we spoke about before that I really enjoyed is your perception of Christmas. Christmas doesn't start with an X.
No, it does not. It very much has to do with Christ. It is my belief. I'm Catholic, or our family's Catholic. Mm-hmm. It's how we were raised, and it's our belief, and I like to enjoy that part of it. Again, Christmas to me it goes all the way from our childhood when my mother would have nothing but make the biggest, most beautiful Christmases for a kid that would ever deserve it. And on that same note, I love being a part of people's homes and being able to have that enjoyment in their homes for their families. I think that's what makes Christmas really special for me, and why I do really work my butt off during the season to do 2 or 3 homes a day, because I really want everyone to have that joy. And I think those things do come from Christ. And so it is a silly thing because and I think I've told you that before, like we're doing packages and there's thousands of boxes, and someone will write Xmas and I get so mad. But it's silly stuff like that, and it's just my core belief. That's why.
What is one thing that Visioneers can do today to grow strong and profitable business?
Well, sometimes I think businesses can get a little excited and they see like,
Someone
oh gosh,
else.
they have a lot of candles. We should do candles.
Right.
But they are a different type of store. And like, well, it doesn't really go. It doesn't really mix. And
Like people aren't coming to your place to buy a candle. I mean, they might buy it because it's right there, maybe.
Or you go get a facial and you find a little rack of candles, and they're the same rack of candles that have been there for 6 months.
Right.
Not just COVID, they just don't move.
You can tell their age by the amount of dust on them.
So the point is...
Now you can't always say that, because I mean, ours could have some... That's just because from construction.
But the point is that it's they're not sticking to what they're great at. They're great at facials and skin products. Skin products and skin stuff. And that's the thing is that what's the candle for? It has nothing to do with what they're great at.
Unless you're one of those people that needs 200 rolls of toilet paper.
You should have a good candle if you...
Yeah.
You've got a lot of other issues.
Yeah.
How can Visioneers get in touch with you?
Well, we have social media.
What's your handle on social media?
House of Moseley.
Okay.
House of Moseley,
We're
housemosley.com.
we're House of Moseley all over.
All the way through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our phone number is 661-397-7222.
Well, we've been doing live videos since COVID too.
And part of COVID, we adapted. There was no one to talk to.
Right.
So, and we wanted people to see how many amazing Easter
we still
things we had.
We had product coming in the store with or without people.
The truck still came.
Yeah.
And we actually had a decent Easter season.
Actually, we kind of sold everything. We had people, just Easter baskets. There was just so many people that A, weren't leaving their home, and then B, just like
sick
at
of their four walls.
or at their local Target, they didn't even have some of the items.
Oh, and
just things
some
like
of the
that.
big box stores, they weren't getting shipments of product.
Yeah.
Sure.
They were maneuvering and stopping the product. We're a little business. Our stuff was still showing up.
Sure.
And so we were hustling, and we made it happen. And that's the thing is, we wanted people to enjoy it. We wanted to sell it, and it all worked out. So we just did what we knew to do, make it happen.
And if you want to see the latest styles and the latest things that the House of Moseley has to offer, follow them on Instagram, because that is where you'll see their videos and their pictures popping up on a daily basis.
I definitely am like, let's post this, you got to post all this. But we're definitely into the story too. So items will be posted on our story, and then most people that know on Instagram, they'll disappear, and then the next day we're just going more and more.
Yes, and people enjoy it because it's local, and they're able to, it's obtainable. And they love watching the stories of all the product. And we have really had a lot of fun with our dumb videos, because we started making our own cocktails.
Sure.
Because it was COVID.
Sure.
So we would make our own cocktails, talk about candles, and we just made it happen. That's all it was.
Well, Robert, Renee, this has been a real pleasure. Thank you very much for being on Small Business Celebration and joining us. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Imagine for a second the best version of yourself. This is really important because we cannot out-earn our identity. By increasing our identity, everything in our life gets better. Toastmasters helps us do this two ways. First, by giving us an environment that we can stretch ourselves and grow. And the second is by putting us with like-minded people that are doing the exact same thing.
Build a better you. Go to Toastmasters.org and click on the Find a Club button and build a better you. Go to Toastmasters.org and click on the Find a Club button and build a better you so that you can grow a strong and profitable business. Go to Toastmasters.org, click on the Find a Club button and build a better you. Who is a Visioneer? A Visioneer is a business leader who is a pioneer that has vision. A Visioneer is someone willing to see the world not as it is, but as it could be, and is willing to do something about it. A Visioneer is ethical, smarter, faster, and leaner than the mainstream competition. A Visioneer gives value first because Visioneers are in the business for the long haul. Visioneers understand the difference between saving money and earning a profit. Visioneers define their destiny. Visioneers create their own luck. Visioneers surround themselves with successful, like-minded people. Visioneers are renegades who defy the mainstream competition and are ready to change the world. Are you a Visioneer? Join the Visioneer tribe with Small Business Celebration on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram today.